My name is Kevin Little, work for a company called Online Technologies, and we sell the 1a.wmv PRS student response system throughout the state of Arkansas. I've had a request from a few clients that I put together a little tutorial about how to get started just so their teachers can reference it at the beginning of each school year. And so you can see on my desktop I've got a list of the steps that we're going to take today. Beginning with, we're going to download and install the latest response software. With any e-instruction product, you get a perpetual software license, which means you can always go to the website, and that website is found in here. You just open up your web browser. But you can always get the latest edition of the software. You can see that right now I'm at einstruction.com. And when you come to the home page, you'll see this blue box right here with the quick links. And there's a link right here that says download software. And so I'm just going to click it and follow it. And it is apparently going to take its time opening, which is always fun. And you can see now that as I scroll down, pretty far down the page, actually close to the end, you can see it's right here, the Iterate response, and I'm just going to click the download button, and that's going to begin the process of getting me that latest software edition. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is we're always going to get the latest edition of the software. And you see that the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to configure our clickers as closed learners. Now again, once you do this the first year, you're not going to have to reconfigure your clickers, but you will need to at the beginning. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the response software, and after the splash screen happens, this kind of entryway is going to pop up, and you can see that there are 4 options. And so when it comes to setting up my clickers, configuring them, I'm going to go ahead and click configure software, or set up my hardware. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring up my device manager. Now I'm going to go ahead and discover devices, because even though I've plugged it in, it's not detecting my receiver. You can see right there it is, the response RF. And so I'm going to highlight that by clicking on it. And then I'm just going to come over here to the wrench, and that's going to bring up my properties. And this is going to allow me to configure my clickers, because right here up in this tab is the Configure Clickers tab. So I'm just going to click that, and then you can see here that I can actually set the clicker type, and these are all my options. Again, I would suggest doing closed loaner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and enter my class name, and that's going to be my last name, Little, and the class ID, I'm just going to put in a random number, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hit Setup, and that's going to begin looking for a channel. Now while that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and flip on. At this point, go ahead and start turning on my clickers. And what's going to happen now is it's going to start searching for a channel. You can see that the channel is now C loaner and the channel is B. So rather than letting it scan on each of my clickers, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the D button on the clickers, and then hit enter and join that class. At this point, you can see that 2 clickers are configured, and when that happens, it'll say join ID, colon, and then it will give me a number. Once I see that on the clicker, that clicker is done, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off. And that is how we configure the clickers as closed loaners, which is the next step in our process. I'm going to go ahead and close this one down. And then let's bring up our list and see what's next. You see we've downloaded and installed the latest response software. We've configured the clickers as closed loaners. And now it's time for us to create our classes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring back up response. And fortunately, you'll see that create a new class is right there. So I'm going to choose that option. And this screen is going to come up. I'm going to click next. And then it's just going to ask me, hey, what class name? And I'm going to do first hour, and that tells me an X, which means I've already got first hour created. So let's go ahead and create second hour, and see there's no X there, so it says that that's a name that I can use. And so subjects and sections are usually meant for a college environment, and I'm guessing if you're listening to my tutorial, you're in a K-12 environment, so don't worry about that. And now asks you which clickers are you going to use. Well, most of you, if you're using this, you probably have this clicker right here, the silver PRS. But if you do use it in a mixed environment, you can use it with the Cricut at the same time. and use both types of clickers. But again, most of you are going to use just the silver PRS clickers. And so I'm going to click next, keep moving on. Now it's asking me broadcast name. Now typically what I do is I just type in my name. And again, it asks me system type. Well, remember, we set it as a closed loaner. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a closed system type. Click next and move on. And it's asking me for the class ID. So remember, those are the numbers that I typed in, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's asking me to create my roster, and you can see that there are two options. But we're gonna review what we've done before, and then come back and do that here in a second. So right now, I'm just gonna skip it. And you'll notice it says you have finished creating your new class, so we are done. And again, let's look at what we've done and where we're going. So we've downloaded and installed the latest response software. We've configured the clickers as closed loaners, and we've created a single class. If you wanted to create another class, you would simply create that button again. You would hit that button again and create another class. But the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to populate your class by manually entering names or importing rosters. Again, there's two ways to do that. But it starts at the entryway, and now we've created the class, and now we're going to come down here and choose Manage My Data. So again, now it brings me to this larger screen that has all my classes over here, as well as places to create lessons and other things like that. So I'm going to choose second hour, and the easiest way to get started is simply to hit New Student, and it brings this screen up. So I'm going to type in the first name, tab over, and type in the second name. Now I'm not sure if, because this is going on the web, if Ben Affleck can sue me or get onto me for using his name, but we'll see. Student ID is either going to be a number that the student knows. If they use lunch IDs, that would be a good number, or it may just be their number in your class. And so Ben in my class is going to be number 1, and then I'm just going to click Save, and then click Choose New, and now I can enter in my second student again, first name, last name, and then student ID. And I can do that for each student in each class. Now that, as you may have figured out, is going to be kind of time consuming. So there is another way. I'm going to go ahead and delete Ben real quick so that we can just import